Hi and good morning. Thank you for joining us at our Inbound Migration YouTube page. My name is Yolyn Swarsbrook and my MIRA number is 1278493.
My name's Rhiannon Macaulay and my MIRA number is 1686108.
Thank you for joining us. Today we'd like to do a mock interview to show you what it would be like to have a meeting with a migration agent, to understand what sort of questions they're going to ask you, to know what to bring, and basically what to expect. We're going to use the basis of a partner visa interview to help you understand, basically. Okay, so I'm going to be the migration agent today, and Rhiannon is going to be our
Client.
Our client, yes, that's right. Okay, wonderful. So, hello Rhiannon, thank you for coming in. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about yourself and what I can possibly help you with today?
Wonderful. My name's Rhiannon. I'm from England. I'm in Australia on a tourist visa. I've been here for 6 months, but I have a serious boyfriend. So I'm just wondering how I could stay in Australia.
Okay, wonderful. Great questions. So, as you know, I am a registered migration agent and I am legally able to provide you with immigration advice in Australia. So please tell me more about your relationship. When did you first meet and are you living together now?
We first met a year ago. We are living together now and we have been since I've come to Australia 6 months ago.
Excellent, wonderful. And how long is your tourist visa for?
It's for 12 months.
It's a 12-month tourist visa. Okay, wonderful. Well, I'm glad to hear you found love and everything is rosy for you. So you are currently living together?
We are, yes.
Excellent. Okay, and are you renting a place together?
We are renting somewhere.
You are renting. Okay, wonderful. So is your partner, is he an Australian citizen or permanent resident?
He's an Australian citizen.
He is. Okay, wonderful. And ask his name?
John Williams.
John Williams. Okay, thank you. And has John ever sponsored anyone before in the past?
No.
No, he hasn't. Okay, no problem. And he's an Australian citizen. So I asked prior to our meeting if you could bring in a copy of your passport, a copy of your current grant letter for your current Australian visa, and any other additional documents that she thought might be beneficial to our initial meeting. So are you familiar with the conditions on your current tourist visa?
I'm not.
You're not, okay. So I'll just have a look at that for you now. So I can see here that obviously you've got no working rights, as you may have already known. There is a restriction on the amount of study you can do while you're here, as well as I can see that you don't have an 8503 no further stay, which is great. So if you have a visa that doesn't have this condition, it actually enables you to lodge a second visa whilst you're in Australia, before obviously your current visa expires. If you have this condition, and some people do have this imposed on their visas, it does mean unfortunately that to lodge another visa, unless of course it's a protection visa or there's certain circumstances, then you do need to depart the country and make an additional application to come back in. So considering a partner visa might be an option for you, not having an 8503 is a good thing because that means that we could probably lodge your application with you here.
Wonderful.
You don't have to go back. So that's great. Okay, so so you've been living together for 6 months. Do you have a registered relationship certificate at all?
Yes, I do.
You do, okay.
Yes.
Where did you register that?
Births, deaths and marriages in Queensland.
Okay, fantastic. Not every state offers de facto registration certificates. There are many that do. They each have their own rules. Queensland, for example, just requires one person to be a permanent resident in Australia in order to lodge it. Since you're here, that's fantastic. When did you register that?
About a month ago.
Okay, fantastic. And you already have your certificate?
I do, yes.
That's great. So, and you live together. So basically, the first main criteria you need to meet to be eligible is I like to break it down into one of 3 categories. You either need to be married and have a marriage certificate. You can be married overseas and that marriage is valid in Australia providing it doesn't conflict with our Australian family law. or you can demonstrate a 12-month de facto living together through evidence, so you can show you've lived together for 12 months, or you can have a government de facto registration certificate and be waived of that 12-month requirement, which is helpful.
Yes.
So you do still need to obviously evidence your relationship, that it is genuine, that it is continuing. It just means that you don't have to show the full 12 months. In your situation, you've been here 6 months living together, and therefore that puts you in a good position because you have the government de facto certificate.
What kind of evidence can I use?
Yeah, sure. So part of our service is we do provide you with a thorough checklist of the types of documents immigration are going to want to see to be able to understand your relationship. No two relationships are ever the same. If the man pays for everything or the woman pays for everything, or perhaps it's a same-sex couple, does not matter. We just need to provide enough evidence to show that you are in a genuine and continuing relationship to satisfy immigration's requirements. To give you some examples, could be a lease with both of your names on it, showing that you reside together. It could be a joint bank account. It could be big purchases you've made together, overseas holidays you've gone on together. Could be utility bills with both of your names on it, or even individually. For example, someone has the phone bill that is connected to that residential address in their name, and the next person has the rates bill or some other utility bill, electricity bill, for example. So those are the sorts of documents, and basically as part of our services, we look through all the documents that you have. We let you know if we need more or if we've got enough, and we help you create a case basically to show to immigration this is who we are, and basically you want to be giving them no reason to doubt your relationship. You want it to be a decision-ready application.
Wonderful.
Okay. So just a few other questions I'm going to need to ask you to help qualify you. So have you ever had a visa refused for Australia before?
No.
No? Okay. Have you ever had any trouble with the police or authority character?
I've had a drink driving charge in England. Does that
Okay.
matter?
No, that should be fine. What we like to do with anything that is to do with, sometimes occasionally you need to go to court with DUIs, we'd like you to write a thorough letter which we can assist you with to explain that you have learnt and grown from that situation. However, the only way you fail the character test is if you've actually been convicted of a crime and been sentenced to 12 months or longer in jail. So that should be fine. Now, did you say you'd been married before?
I have been married before.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, you mentioned that on the phone. So have you applied to divorce?
Yes, 12 months ago it was finalised.
Okay, no problem. So we're going to need evidence of that annulment and further documents to see if you have changed your name at all. Those are the sorts of documents immigration are going to require to see. They want you to list your previous serious relationships as part of the application, just to understand your character and just have a good understanding of your history. Okay. Did you have any other questions at the moment?
How does using a migration agent benefit my case?
Sure. Okay. You don't have to use a migration agent, but it's no different to employing an accountant to help you do your tax. Having a professional on board will make sure that we can cross all the T's and dot all the I's. Partner visas are not a cheap endeavour. The current immigration charge is actually $6,865. It's not an application you want to get wrong. Money aside, it is a lengthy process that will take you quite a bit of time to actually prepare. So having someone streamline that work for you, show you the sorts of things you're going to need, and help you through the entire process is going to take the burden off you. It's going to enable you to feel confident in your application and understand what needs to be done along the way, especially for such a lengthy application. There'd be nothing worse than getting to the end and realising you haven't done it correctly. Having access to the law is definitely a big benefit to having a migration agent. We do need to pay to have access to a professional library, so We understand the Act, the regulations and policy relating to every visa application that we lodge. So we can more or less explain to the case officer, this is why my client is deserving of this visa, because they meet XYZ criteria or regulations, and therefore they are deserving of this visa. Yes. So to move forward, what we then do is, if you're happy to move forward, that is, we then can provide you with a no obligation quote and contract. You can have a read through, understand the different options that we offer. We do have DIY, do it yourself options, as well as the full package available to you. To give you an understanding as well, we do provide you with a thorough letter of advice detailing what to expect. So as you know, a subclass 820 onshore partner visa and an 801 permanent visa application is a two-stage process. Unless, of course, you've been together for more than 3 years already, then you may be eligible to go straight to the permanent visa. So, for example, say we lodged your visa application tomorrow. The current processing time is actually 12 to 15 months before immigration will actually be ready to make a decision on your case. It's quite a long time to wait. As you are on a tourist visa and you have another 6 months, we can lodge your partner visa at any time, providing we have all the documents and the case looks thorough. You will remain on that tourist visa until it expires. Providing we've lodged your partner visa application before that expiry date, then you gain a bridging visa. Bridging visas are not something you can apply for. They are automatically given to you upon lodging another substantive visa application in Australia. When that kicks in, you will have instant working rights for that processing time that is remaining. And then once you get that temporary visa actually granted, another 12 months from then, you will then be invited by immigration to apply for your permanent visa. Okay?
Wonderful.
So in total, it is a 2-year wait from the date of initial application. Permanent visa application does not cost you any additional fees because it is included in the initial temporary application. Okay, so I think hopefully I've made that whole process a little bit more clearer to you.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about moving forward. And thank you.
Thank you.